So I told you about my story. I told you about asking better questions. Forget what I learned. This is the thing I just want to point out. And I'm going to gloss over this a little fast. You don't need the non-X's and O's information right now. But some people will tell you, and I've heard this comment through the first 4 days here. And Steve talked about negativity yesterday. Remember when he was saying that? He eliminated negative people. Heather and I just had this conversation yesterday as well. You would not believe how things change when you eliminate negative people out of your life. I don't watch the news. People are asking, John, well, can you believe what's going on with such and such? I don't know. I haven't heard that. Most people watch the news when they get up in the morning, and they're going to watch the news when they go to bed at night. So that's the last thing on your mind at night and the first thing on your mind in the morning. Is news positive? No. I don't know how much about it in Canada, but here in the States, it's terrible. You want to take that butter knife and just kind of gut yourself out. You know what I mean? It's like, really? Are you serious? Death, murder, destruction, bankruptcy, and more murder. You know what I mean? And so I completely eliminated that. But one of the things that I think is interesting with regard to this component is when you tell people, hey, I'm involved in real estate, you know, I'm learning about real estate, I'm going to go out and buy multifamily units in the States, or I'm buying single family houses in the States, and you get, this isn't perfect strangers, by the way. This is friends and family. Friends and family. And friends and family will often be the ones that tell you, what? You're going to do what? Are you crazy? Right? How many people have had that? Look around. Look how many hands are in there. A lot. I'm telling you, if you told what you're doing to a perfect stranger, they say, really? That's pretty cool. How do I get a hold of that? What do I need to do? I am telling you, being exposed in this for the last 14 years, going on 15 now, as an entrepreneur full-time in the real estate market, the opportunity in rental housing for at least the next 10 years, and I don't like to do plans over 5. Someone said if you want to make God chuckle, you make a 5-year plan. But I am telling you, our housing crisis is supplying good rental housing for people moving on. If you can get on that train, you're going to be ahead of the game, because you want to be in a business that provides, that's going to be in high demand and limited or stagnant supply. Limited, or even when people think that, they get crazy. Do you ever see during the holidays, the day after Thanksgiving, when people go to, at midnight, they line up in the stores, and then that poor security guard that's opening the door, and then, right? Or when Apple comes out with a new iPhone, do you see the lines? Even when they think there's going to be scarcity. Just knowing that if they could just wait 7 days, they could walk into the store, buy it with no problem. But they rather wait in line because they think there's going to be a scarcity. In reality, when there really is a scarcity, that's when good things happen. You're seeing that component on the rental side of things right now, the multifamily side of things. Don't take my word for it. Take CoStar, for instance. CoStar is a very large research firm. There's others, Reese and other large brokerage houses, Marcus and Millichap and CB Richard Ellis, all these large commercial brokerage companies. They do studies every day. And in most major metro markets, rents are increasing by 4% at the bottom scale right now. You think 4%, that's nothing. I'm going to show you why that's huge, by the way, today. By the way, some markets are up to 10%. 10%. So an $800 rent goes to $880. A $1,000 rent goes to $1,100. You might think, well, 80 bucks. I'm not going to get rich on 80 bucks. Just give me some time. Give me some time. Okay? Oh, right here, take action. You guys don't need me to say that to you, but I will sit and talk with many of you, and I'll say, you have got to pick a market, and then you've got to go out and look at opportunities. You got to put in offers. And I'll say that, and I'll say that, and I'll say that, and it still won't be done. You got to do that. There's no way that you're going to be able to make progress if we wait until every single thing is perfect. That won't take place. Our best teacher, with the exception of myself and Steve, is experience. It really is. The best teacher in life is experience, going through it. Having the experience be that teacher. I'd like to think that I am, but that's probably not the case. So taking action is going to be the first step to your success. I just want to throw up one thing. Steve talks about writing his goals down every morning, and he does. I know many people think, does he really? No, he actually does. You see what he drinks, right? Where's that drink at? Did he take it with him? Did you see that stuff? Yeah. Anyway. You know what I mean? Who, what? Anyway. He does do that. I do something a little bit differently, but nevertheless, I think goals are important. In real estate, I think not only are goals important, but obviously your reason why. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this, but I just want to state that if you are not letting the reason why you're doing this be your fuel, your goals sometimes are not enough. Goals are stair steps. To me, they're not my motivation. My motivation is to change the way that I'm receiving my income so I can write books, I can teach, and I can hang out with my family and my beautiful wife, not necessarily in that order. Right? That's right, nice save. That's what I want to do. That's what multifamily unit investing, by the way, can give you. Because I talked about it the first day. We go into the Human Resources office the first day of the job, and they say, hey, listen, we've got this benefit, and we've got an RSP program, and all of this stuff, or here in the States, 401k. And if you contribute to that over the next 35 years or 40 years of you working here, you can have enough money to set aside to retire off of. Probably close to $1 million. Again, I don't have a problem with $1 million. I think that's great, wonderful. My problem lies in the 35, 40 years. So my question to you and challenge to you as I'm going through this all day today and tomorrow is to say, why not take advantage of the $1 million today by going out to a guy like Chris Dotson and saying, look, I want to buy this 24-unit building. It's $1 million. I'm going to have you finance it, 75% of it. I'll find a way to come up with the other 25. We're going to buy that, and that cash flow is going to provide you with that same scenario of what you're looking as for your RSP to do when you retire. In other words, don't wait the 35 to 40 years. Find a way to do it today. I've been doing this my whole career. When I left the environmental world, corporate world, I started a company. And I'm going to tell that story a little bit on success of that tomorrow morning. But when I started that company, I was competing against major Fortune 500 companies. And I started this company. I would work in shorts. It was a room above my garage. Now it kind of sounds like I live in a van down by the river. But I'd work in a room above my garage, and I'm competing against all of these big companies, BFI, Waste Management, all of these things. And I succeeded because I outthought them. And I'm not here to brag, but once you hear that story, I think you'll think it's pretty cool. But I'm not here to brag, but what I want to talk to you about with respect to multifamily is you've got to think differently than the norm. 401ks, RSP, that's a very corporate way of thinking. That's not an entrepreneurial way of thinking. With real estate investing and multifamily unit investing, you have to think like an entrepreneur, specifically in the way you structure deals, specifically in the way that you increase value, so that you can start taking advantage of that $1 million today. If it's not today, it's going to be in 6 months or a year. But you're shortening that learning curve of the 35 to 40 years. Can you imagine 40 years from today, 2052, right? And you're looking to retire? Man, that's mind-boggling to me. 2052. Can you imagine if you had $1 million saved in your RSP program and you expect to get maybe 10% a year on that? That's $100,000. How far do you think $100,000 is going to go in 40 years? Probably not very far, but that's the plan that you bought into 40 years prior, so you're stuck. Some of you may say, well, John, I'm going to buy multifamily units in the States and I'm going to still stay with my corporate job. That's cool. I'm not saying that corporate Canada or corporate America is bad. I'm just saying I want to give you alternatives here or options to go to. So my reason why, I would recommend putting it in 3 spots. Your car visor, your bathroom mirror, on top of your remote control if you're a TV watcher. That way you kind of see that throughout your day. That reminds you of what your reason why is. It could be a picture. It could be a picture that reminds you of that. Your goals in multifamily. I talk with you a lot about these. If I had my way, I would rather have you start out small and grow rather than start out huge. Because I know that you should expect mistakes to be made. If you mistake small, you can recover. If you mistake large, sometimes you can't recover, or at least it takes you a longer time to recover. So write them down, start small and grow. You don't have to look at, in my mind, Steve looks at them every day. He writes his goals down every day. I write my goals down, I put them away, I look at them in 6 months because I let my reason why guide me. That's my fuel. So we just have a little bit of differences with that, but nevertheless, I think the goals are important. If I was looking at starting here today in Chicago and I'm looking to buy multifamily properties and I was starting at 0, my goals may be something like this. I'm going to buy 12 units in the next 12 months. By the way, those 12 units could be a 12-unit building, 2 6-unit buildings, 3 4-unit buildings, 6 duplexes, 1 8-unit build. You get the point, right? I'm going to generate $3,500 a month in passive income over the next year. Something like that. You see, every goal has a time component to it. A goal stated out there, I'm going to buy 12 units, is not a goal. That's not a goal. A goal is one that has structure to it with regard to time frame. I'm going to buy 12 units in the next 12 months. I'm going to generate $3,500 in passive income per month in the next year. All of those stated goals have a time component with it. You want to make sure that you give yourself boundaries with your goals. And then once those are achieved, you're going to change those perhaps. But make sure they have a time component with them.